I hope you had a really good cookie, because I'm not gonna lie, this next section, it's a little tricky, but hey, you've built 20 apps already, so you are going to be just fine. In this section, we are going to tell the app how to add points, how to move the ball, and what happens when you lose the game. We are going to do these things in the next 4 steps. What are those 4 steps? They are number 1, speed. Number 2, direction. Number 3, adding points. And number 4, sound. In this game, you will get 1 point for every time the ball hits the sandwich. And as you get more points, we want the ball to speed up. So let's start with number 1, speed. So type in when ball 1. When ball 1. And the first option is what we want. It's the when ball 1 dot collided with do. So go ahead and drag that into the blocks editor. And we are going to need an if and then block. So type in if. If. Nice. Go ahead and thunk that in. Nice. So let's start with speed. We want to say when the ball collides with the sandwich, and let's say you've been playing the game for a little bit, you have a high score, maybe you have a 20, you just got 20 points. We want to say if your score is higher than 20, you should make the ball go faster. So we need a greater than block, which is found in the maths blocks section over here. So let's select this equal block and go ahead and thunk it in. And now let's change it to greater than. No more equals, now we have a greater than sign. So now we need to put in the current score. So let's get a get block from the variable section over here. Thunk that in. Let's get a get block. Thunk that in. Great. And in the drop down menu for this block, let's change it to say current score. Current score. Very good. So if the current score is greater than 20, so we can just copy and paste a number block. Go ahead and get a number block. And just write in 20. Go ahead and thunk that in. We want to say if the current score is greater than 20, set the ball speed to 25. So type in set ball 1 speed. Set ball 1 speed. There we go. Go ahead and thunk that in. And then we can copy and paste a number block. And good. And we can thunk that in too. So let's change this to 25. Fantastic work. Now for the second step, direction. In this case, direction is determined by angles. And we base angle measurements out of 360 degrees. If we want the ball to hit the sandwich and bounce back in the opposite direction like this, see, the ball hits the sandwich and then it goes back in the opposite direction. It's very easy to do this. All we need to do is subtract the ball's direction from 360. So type in set ball 1 heading. Set ball 1 heading. That's it. Go ahead and thunk that in. Excellent work. The next thing that we need is a subtraction block, and that's in the maths section. And the maths section is over here. So let's get a subtraction block. Hello. And go ahead and thunk that in. Great. And now to make the ball bounce in the opposite direction, again, we just need to say 360 minus the ball's direction. And another word for direction, as you know, is heading. So let's start with 360. Just copy and paste a blank number block. How about this one? Go ahead and thunk that in. And let's just change the number to 360. 360. And next, we just need to put in the ball's heading, its direction. So go ahead and type in ball 1 heading. Ball 1 heading. Hey, there we go. Go ahead and thunk that in. Yes. Good work. Now we're going on to step 3, adding points. How exciting. So in the past, I don't know if you remember, but we've used procedure blocks to create shortcuts. And we are going to create a procedure for updating the current score. It's a little tricky, but we're going to do it slowly, and we're going to do it together. So let's go to the block options for procedures. Those are over here. And get a toProcedureDo block. Great. Go ahead and put that in the blocks editor. So what is this going to do? We are going to basically create a shortcut for updating and displaying the score. So right here, let's write update and display current score. Update and display current score. Nice. Nice. Now let's click this little star button. Hello, little star. We're going to grab an input block and thunk it into this opening over here. Now, why did we do that? Well, you know how some blocks like this one, let's go over here, they provide you with the data you need, they just know things. Like if we want to tell this image sprite to go where your finger is, remember we just clicked, current X over here to get the current X. So we're going to create one of these blocks that can do something like that. So right over here, let's type in new score. New score. So to update and display the current score, what do we need to do? Who knows? I know, I can tell you. We need to set the current score to this new score block. So let's go to the block options for variables. Variables over here. We are going to get a set block. Set. Go ahead and thunk that in. And let's select current score from the drop-down menu over here, current score. Great work. And let's just select a get new score block from over here. And thunk that into the opening. Thunk that in. Nice. Good thunk. Now that we've programmed this function, we just need to tell these blocks to update the current score label. So let's type in set current score.text2. Set current score.text2. Yep, that's the one we want. Go ahead and thunk that in. And we can just copy a join block combination from somewhere. Where is that? It's over here. Everybody with me? We're going over here. We're just going to click join and then copy and paste. Let's move it over. It's a good old thunk. Thunk that in. And next we just need to make a few updates, a few changes. So this part over here should just say high score colon. And next we need to select current score from the drop-down menu. So this one, let's select current score. And hey, that's it. Good for you. You just made a procedure. So now when you click on the procedures block, let's go back. Let's do that. You will see a call, update, and display current score block. And that's the one you just made. Hey, good for you. So go ahead and we're going to get this block, the one you just made, and we're going to thunk it in over here. Fantastic work. Man, big things in the Advanced App Building tutorial series. Isn't that right, giant robot? So next, let's get an addition block. So we're going back to the math section over here. And we can just, get a math addition block and thunk that in. And we can just copy and paste a get current score block from over here. Thunk that in. And next, copy and paste a blank number block. Great, copy and paste that and thunk that in. Let's just change this to 1. Fantastic. So when we want to update the high score, it's just going to say, hey, whatever the score is, add 1. How much fun is that? Great work. You're doing a great job. And now it's time for the next step. Step number 4, which is sound. So basically, we want to say, if the sound box is checked, we want to call the sound of the ball hitting the sandwich, which sounds like this. It's such a nice sound. So let's type in if. Go ahead and thunk that if block in. And next, let's type in soundbox, soundbox.checked. Hey, that's the one we want. Go ahead and thunk that into the if opening. And next, let's go to the options for the pop sound. And so, yeah, where is that better? And we are going to select the call pop play block. That's this one over. Yeah, fantastic. We'll go ahead and thunk that in. Good show, good show. So let's just go over what all of this means. So when the ball collides with the sandwich, if the current score is greater than 20, the app will set the ball speed to 25, and then the ball will bounce back in the other direction. And because it just hit the sandwich, it's going to add +1 to the current score, and if the sound box is checked, you're going to hear the pop sound, which again sounds like this. Nice. Now, I know that was a lot, but the cool thing is that you can actually just copy and paste this whole thing a few times and just change the numbers a little bit. So click on the little star over here. We are going to get an else-if combo and thunk it in. Thunk it in over here. So this is kind of like else. We've used if-else before. But you use this else-if combination when you have more than 2 options. So let's just copy and paste everything from here to here. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. It's really fun when you don't have to thunk many things again. It's a pretty awful song, but great. So we already told the app what to do if the score goes over 20 points. That's going to be the fastest speed at 25. Let's go down a level. Let's say if the score is over 10, so let's just change this to 10. Let's set the ball speed to 15. So change this to 15. Great work. Now, you can do this as many times as you want. If 25 is too fast for you, if 15 is too fast for you, again, you can customize this to how fast you want it to be and how many times you want the ball to go faster. But we are just going to add in one more set of directions. You just need to remember that for your last one, your last combination, you need to select an else block, not an else if block. So for our last one, let's get an else block by doing this. Go ahead and thunk it in. So this last section is going to tell you what to do if your score is under 10. So this basically is just going to tell your app what to do when you start the game at 0. We don't need to copy the speed block because we already said our ball's starting speed would be 10. So let's just copy and paste and thunk in the set ball 1 heading block, the call, update, and display current score block, and then the if block. Great! In this next combination of blocks, we are going to tell the app what to do when you lose the game. Let's say that you lose the game and your score is 10. Well, if that number is higher than the high score or the game high score, we need to tell the app to make this number your new high score and your new game high score. So this next section is all about updating the high score and game high score. To get started, type in when ball 1, and select the when ball 1.edgeReached block. This fellow. Go ahead and drop that in. Next, we are going to need an if block. So we can type in if. Great, and we can go get an if block. Great, go ahead and thunk that in. So, if the ball hits the sandwich, that's the lowest edge in the game. So hitting the sandwich is like hitting 0. But if the ball hits an edge that is less than 0, that means if the ball has missed the sandwich, then you have lost the game. So let's go to the math section and get an equal block. Equal block. Here it is. Go ahead and thunk that in. Next, we want an edge block. So we can just go over here and get an edge block. Go ahead and thunk that in. Very good. And again, if the edge is less than 0, you have lost the game. So let's get a blank number block.
which we can just copy and paste somewhere. Let's see, go get that. Copy and paste, thunk that in. And let's set this number block to a negative number. So let's write -1. -1. Great work. And now it's time for a next level thunking move. We are going to put an if block in an if block. So let's type in if, and go ahead and thunk that if block into the if block. Wow, things are getting pretty meta. So we just told the app that the player lost the game because their ball missed the sandwich. And now we need to say, when you lost, if your score was higher than the high score, it should make the score you just got the new high score. So let's copy and paste this equal block. Copy, paste. Go ahead and thunk it in over here. And let's just delete these two blocks. So delete, 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 delete. Now we will say, if the current score is greater than the high score. So type in get global, and select the current score block. Go ahead and thunk that in. And let's change this equal sign. Let's change it to a greater than sign. So you can do that in the drop-down menu. And we want to say if the current score is greater than the high score. So we just have to type in get global, and select the high score block. And go ahead and thunk that in. Good work, good form. Next, we need to store this new high score value. And we have been storing the high scores on a TinyDB. So let's type in call tiny, and select the store value block. Go ahead and thunk that in. Now this TinyDB needs a tag. So let's just type in text, because we always use these texts for tags. Go ahead and thunk that in. And because this is related to the high score, let's just type in high score. That's going to be the tag. And the value to store, well, that's the current score, because it's replacing the old high score. So let's just copy and paste a get current score block. So copy and paste, and thunk that right in. Good form, good for you. And the next thing to do is that once we have stored the new high score in the TinyDB, we have to tell the high score label to update the text. And we have actually done this combination before. So where was that? Oh, it's over. Yeah. Hello. So just copy and paste this set high score label block. Copy, paste. And let's take it back to where we just were. Go ahead and thunk that in. And the only thing that we need to change is this block over here. Instead of saying, get global high score, we will change it on the drop-down menu to get global current score. Great work. And the next thing we want to do is say that, you just lost the game if your current score is higher than the all-time game high score. Well, we're going to need to save that score and also make it the new game high score.
Type in if and thunk that right in over here. Now we want to say if the current score is higher than the game high score. So again, we can just copy and paste this block over here. Copy and paste. Thunk it right in. We're just going to change the second block in the drop-down menu. We're going to select game high score. So now we say if the current score is higher, greater than the game high score, we're going to save this score to Firebase, because this is the new all-time high score from anyone who's played the app. And we need to update this in the cloud. So type in call Firebase, and select the one that says store value. Go ahead and thunk that in.
And we need a tag. We need a tag for this block. So let's just type in text. Go ahead and thunk that into the tag opening. And because this has to do with the game high score, let's just write in game high score. Game high score. Very good. And the value to store, again, this is just going to be the current score. So let's copy and paste a global current score block, global current score, and go ahead and thunk that into the opening. Great. So that takes care of updating the game high score database. Excellent. And next what we want to do is we need to tell the user that they lost. So we're going to set the current score label. We're just going to set that to say game over. So type in set current score, and select the option that says set current score label.text to. Yep, go ahead and thunk that in. And we can just copy and paste a text block and thunk that into the to section over here. And let's just write game over. Game over. And again, you can write anything you want. If someone loses the game and you want to tell them, hey, Albert, what time is it? Or they lost the game and you want to talk about pangolins, those are just a few ideas, I suppose. Feel no pressure. You do you. Great. And now that we've lost the game, we don't want the ball to bounce anymore. So we are just going to set the ball to disabled. So go ahead and type in set ball 1, and select the enabled block over here, and go ahead and thunk that in. Yep, there you go. And we are going to say, set enable to false. This is just going to turn it off, just like we did before. So type in false. False. There you go. Go ahead and thunk that in. Excellent. And we also want to say that if the sound box is checked, it should play a sound that lets our user know that they've lost, and that's going to be the buzzer sound. So type in if, and go ahead and thunk that in, and we want to say if the sound box is checked. So go ahead and type in soundbox, and we want the soundbox.checked block. So go ahead and select that and thunk that in. Excellent. And if the soundbox is checked, we want to say call, and we are going to have it play the buzzer sound. So let's go to the options for the buzzer. That's over here. And select the call buzzer.play block. Go ahead and thunk that in. Excellent. Good show. Good show. But if the ball hits any other edge, like if it hits the sides or if it hits the top, we don't want the game to stop. We want it to keep going, so we need to tell the ball to keep bouncing. So click on this little star over here, and click the else block. Go ahead and thunk that in. So we've said, if the ball hits the edge and the edge equals -1, update the score, do all of this. And now at the bottom, we're going to say like otherwise, and that just means if you don't lose the game, we just want to tell the ball to bounce. So type in call ball 1, and select the callball1.bounce block. Go ahead and thunk that in. Nice thunk. Excellent thunk. And what edge are we going to use? Well, we can just get this edge from over here, this block. So go ahead and select the get edge block. Go ahead and thunk that in. Nice. Excellent work. And again, if it's just bouncing on a regular edge, we want it to have the nice regular bounce sign, which is the clock sound. And that sounds like. So first, let's type in if. Go ahead and thunk that in. And again, we need another soundbox.checked block, so we can just copy and paste it from the one above it over here. Go ahead and thunk that in. And we want to say call clock.play. So let's go to the block options for clock over here and select the call clock.play block. There it is. Go ahead and thunk that in.
Wow, that was a lot of work. Good for you. You deserve a fun video. Here's a beaver dance party.